Hello, guys. Welcome. My name is Vibhu. So today's topic is for the parking lot is going to be something that came recently, which is comes many times in terms of how do you actually measure how agile an agile team is, right? So how do we know that we are an agile team, or is there anything better than velocity or story point speed to measure the performance of a team? So today I'm going to share a little bit around that topic. Um, so let's start. So that's the topic. So today, how agile are you, and is there a way to measure agility? So when we think about agile, it's one of the things that I like about agile is the set of principles. And sometimes I just use the agile principles as a way to measure a team's agility. And typically you can use this concept of a red green refactor that we would do in TDD, sort of call them as red green principles, and we can measure that. So here is kind of how this functions. You set up the board, and there are a bunch of reasons that are given here in terms of what happens often that you know that these principles are being followed. And then the team gets around and you need like an hour to do this activity, and you work as a team, and people may say something like, I think we practiced this one, and maybe because they read through this and they say, yeah, the team delivers new increments of value. We do deliver every other week. I think, therefore, we think this is working. And then so they can go one by one like this, and based on where they think that things are, they may move them. So, for example, they may read something here like the team follows engineering practices like refactoring and test-driven development, and maybe they may have too many bugs and they're not really doing a lot of tests. So they may move that to a red. And when they move that to a red, they'll often give like an indication of why. And the why could be because we don't write unit tests, stuff like that, right? So you work on each of these principles like this and move things around. And once you are done, the third step as a team is sit together and say, what can we do? Let's dot vote these things. So if you're going to use a board like Miro, you could actually use this dot voting tool to give people a way to dot vote, and maybe you'll dot vote on that. And everybody will come and put their votes here, and maybe the one you want to really focus on, maybe you got, let's say, 3 votes for this, and here this one got most of the votes from people. So then you're going to look at that and say, what is something specific we can do so that we can actually improve on this practice? And the team may come up with a couple of ideas, and they may say something like, let's start practicing writing tests every day for at least 1 hour, something like that, right? So they put a measurable number in front of themselves and hold each other accountable, so that they can do this stuff, right? So and really this then becomes a practicing card, right? A card that we can actually go do something about it. And then maybe we'll do a couple of more like this. So this is what I call as red green refactor, just a way for us to go through and measure us. And after 3-4 months, we can do this activity again. So maybe when you did it the first time, it may have looked something like this, all these agile principles that we talk about. And maybe the second time you did this unit test, you did practice this one. So you sort of move it to the left here. Now this is done. So maybe you'll focus on something else. Okay. So that's a good way, using the agile principles itself as a way to measure how agile you are. I hope that helped. Thank you.